Grab your favorite alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverage. Do not drink and drive. Sit back and relax and enjoy the latest episode of Why Complain When You Can Whine. Everything in this podcast is for psychoeducational and entertainment purposes only. Welcome to Why Complain When You Can Whine, making sense in the senseless. Join me as I attempt to make sense of toxic nonsense while not drinking wine today. I am Dr. Jody Lorman, licensed clinical psychologist, and as you can see, there is no Bree. It is just me. Unfortunately, her schedule is not conducive to recording the podcast, and I wanted to make sure that we put something out, so here I am. I don't have a problem doing this. I love public speaking. Love public speaking. Now, for about 75% of the population of the world, their biggest fear is often public speaking. Above death. The fear of death is often for most people underneath public speaking. Like, would people rather die than public speaking? I think that's a little far-fetched, but I love public speaking. If there's any opportunity and they need someone to lecture, to TED Talk, to do community seminars, to teach, to anything like that, I love doing that. When I envisioned Why Complain When You Can Whine, it was a dialogue. It was 2, 3, 4 people, a panel. It was a dialogue. When it was me and Bree, it's a dialogue. Monologues, I don't like so much. Now, you might be saying, public speaking, that's a monologue. Yes, but at the same time, when you're public speaking, you're playing off your audience. You're playing off their nonverbal cues. You're playing off potentially their verbal cues. They might be asking questions. That is so much easier to me. When I'm talking to somebody, I play off of their verbal and nonverbal cues. When I'm behind the camera and there's nobody that you can play off of, not my favorite thing. I can do 3-minute TikTok, YouTube videos, stuff like that. If I have questions, if I have something to teach, if I have a topic, no problem. But if I'm just coming on and with my own topic and not sure if it's something that everybody's interested in, that's a little bit of a problem. So what I'm going to ask of you is if you can please put in the comments topics you'd like discussed, questions that you liked answered. Now, it's possible Bree and I, pardon me, will answer them in a podcast, or just little old me will answer them in a podcast or a 3-minute video short on YouTube or TikTok, but give me something. Otherwise, you're going to get whatever topic I pick. And I do have to say, yes, this podcast in the title, Why Complain When You Can Whine, making sense of the senseless and toxic nonsense. We typically talk about narcissistic personality disorder because we know that people with narcissistic personality disorder, extremely toxic. However, it has become more of the let's discuss the malignant narcissist psychopath Trump podcast. And while he is the most toxic person, I think, ever in my lifetime, and I don't know about history, he's getting there. I'm tired of talking about him. I don't know how to stay relevant and keep relevant with toxic nonsense without discussing him, but I just went on vacation for 2 weeks. We were out of the country, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful not hearing about him. Getting to pretend that he was not a part of anything was so nice. There was one point where I opened my phone on the news, saw the shit going on, and immediately closed it. Now, on vacation, we could have turned on the news. The news was on the ship TVs, but I did not want to watch it. It was just so nice to pretend for a while. We were in Bonaire, and Bonaire is 60 miles off of the Venezuelan coast. And so there was a time when we were out on a boat in Bonaire. Yeah, it was just a snorkeling boat that we were out on. And one of the crew was telling us that Bonaire, they're in the Dutch Caribbean, the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. But Curacao and Aruba, they have their own armies, they have their own military, he was saying. Whereas Bonaire is by themselves. They do not have a military. So being 60 miles off the Venezuelan coast, with all the stuff that is happening, they said, yes, the Netherlands will come in, but for a little bit, they're sitting ducks. So they were all kind of nervous. And that was the only real time that we've talked about anything related to the United States and politics and Trump. There was one other time when we were in Aruba that we went into a store, a little convenience store bar also, that they had on the radio, and Trump was talking. It was an interview, and I immediately bought my stuff and beat feet out of there. I did not want to hear him. I cannot stand the sound of his voice. I think the only voice that's worse to me is RFK's voice. I just, sorry. So it was so nice. It was so nice not even dealing with it and thinking about it and pretending for a while that everything was okay. And I know our podcast has become inundated with toxic nonsense of the most malignant narcissist. And I'm tired of it. And I will keep doing it. I will. It's relevant. But is that what you guys want to see and hear? Are there other things? Are there other topics that you want to see and hear? Because I don't know if you're tired of it. We're trying to not talk about his policies and things like that unless it's related to him being a malignant narcissist, and they are. So we're trying to deal more with the malignant narcissist toxicity part. This is a person who was diagnosable ASPD, antisocial personality disorder, and narcissistic personality disorder. The most toxic, cluster B. They're also borderline. He's also got borderline tendencies and histrionic tendencies. So he is a cluster B clusterfuck. So when we talk about toxic nonsense and we talk a lot about cluster B, can't help but talking about him. It's draining. It is draining talking about it and living it. So people that do this for a living, I don't know how they do it. But if you want us to keep talking about it, if you want me to keep talking about it, I would be happy to. Please leave comments and questions. Please leave topics and ideas in the comment section. Be civil. If you don't like what we're talking about, explain. Don't be rude. If you want to bring up a point, bring it up. Don't be rude about it though. That's the thing. Unfortunately, so many people, when they feel like they don't agree with us, they have to be rude and nasty. If you don't agree, explain why. Don't just be rude and nasty. So I'm asking, I'm not sure when Bree's schedule is going to, if it's going to calm down, but I want to keep putting this out. So if you want me to, please leave comments, leave questions, leave topics, leave ideas for me to discuss. Otherwise, you're stuck again with what I want to discuss. And I don't know if you guys want to watch that. So like, subscribe, thank you, share, and I would really appreciate your help in this. So till next time, this has been a short one. That's another thing. If you want us to have shorter podcasts, please comment that too. If you're fine with the hour length, let us know that too. Really, really want to have feedback from you. And we are at the point now where we can do more stuff for our subscribers. We have some other options that come with YouTube, and as you get more subscribers, the more things that you could do. And we want to be able to do that. So in order to do that, though, we need to hear from you. We need to hear what you guys would like as well. So please like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that stuff. And hopefully next time I do this podcast, if it's without Bree, it will be at a suggestion, at a question, at a topic of your guys' choice. So take care till then. Thanks.